Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And I am out here again at the beach to do another pick a card reading for you guys. But today, instead of answering a question, I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm using my Dig Deeper Oracle deck. I have been super into this deck lately, you guys. It was made for me by one of my friends who I've been trading readings back and forth with. This person is an animal communicator, actually. She does readings and passes on messages from pets. So if you're interested, I'm going to send you guys her link to her Instagram below if you want to check her out. But this is a really cool deck that just gets right to the root of the issue. But before we get into this reading, I'm going to show you guys this beautiful place I am right now. The sun is setting and all these families and stuff are going to probably be leaving to get dinner really soon. It's the end of the day and everyone's just trying to squeeze the last few minutes out of this gorgeous day. And so, yeah, excuse the noise. You might hear children or babies or people laughing and playing in the background, but it's just really good vibes up in here. So I want to show you guys where I'm at. So today I have 3 objects for you to choose from. We've got number 1, the shard of glass. Number 2, the orange rock. Or number 3, the pine cone. So choose one of these objects you feel drawn the most to get your reading. Remember, we got number 1. Let's see if I can hold them all at the same time. Number 2 or number 3. And once you have chosen, head down below to the comments or the description where the timestamps are posted. And you can just click on the timestamp and be instantly fast forwarded to your part in the reading. I'll see you soon. So for those of you guys who choose number 1, let's go ahead and get your message. And your card is, how did you get addicted? So let's talk about addiction. We haven't really talked about this much on the channel, maybe because this is kind of a sore subject for me, but whatever, let's just go there. You know, that's what the Dig Deeper Oracle deck is all about, going places we might not want to go. So if you look at your addictions, or maybe even addictions you've had in the past, you can trace them back to a root cause. So for me, one of my addictions, I literally started, and I stopped eventually, thank God. I was doing it because my friends were doing it, and I literally thought it would make me cool. So I can trace that back further to, I felt insecure and I wanted to fit in. I didn't feel worthy in and of myself, and so that's why I picked up that addiction. Woohoo! Another addiction I had, and this one I'm still working on, is something that my family did to make themselves feel better and in order to celebrate and feel good. And it was something that I picked up and didn't even realize it was an addiction. And then, I kind of traced it back to that. And so if I trace that root back even further, it would be not feeling like I can enjoy, or not feeling like I can express myself, not feeling the right to take pleasure in life. Maybe not feeling nurtured or not feeling comforted enough. Another addiction I picked up because I was just really depressed and it was something that was calming me. This one I conquered as well. And I think if I trace that back, I realized it was because I didn't know how to self-soothe. So what you can do if you have an addiction is just be real with yourself. Isn't that the first step, is to admit it? And it's okay to have an addiction. It's okay to still be dealing with addiction. I actually have people I've done readings for, or I've talked with, even friends of mine who have addictions. I've had friends who've had hardcore, intense addictions to like intensely dangerous and addictive substances. I don't judge people for that. Like, it happens. Like, one minute you're smoking a cigarette, the next minute you're smoking weed, the next freaking year you're freaking shooting up heroin, and it happens, you know? And so I don't judge people for that. Like, there's a lot of stereotypes about people who are addicted, and we don't realize that almost anything can be addictive, like television or food or sex or I don't know, you can be addicted, you can have information addiction. You can be addicted to getting information. You can be addicted to the internet and to social media. You can be addicted to so many things, you know? And it's not about like looking at yourself and being like, oh no, I'm so horrible, I have an addiction. Like, it's human. I think it's almost impossible to go through life without getting a little obsessed or addicted with something. It just happens. It's because we're all trying to kind of fill a void, and it's kind of a journey learning how to self-soothe and self-comfort yourself. And it's not about perfection. It's not about like, I don't need anything. I don't, you know, it's just learning how to balance things, learning everything in moderation. So for you, if you have an addiction, or you just want to go to the past and think about an addiction you used to have, you can start like write down about it, or like journal about it, or talk to a close friend, or even a therapist, or licensed counselor about it. And usually you can start asking yourself, when did this start? What was I going through at the time? Who were the people that were surrounding me? Why did I originally do it? Like, for me, in one of my addictions, like I said, I wanted to be cool. I wanted to fit in. All my friends were doing it. But you can trace it back a deeper root if you ask your inner self, or you can ask the addiction, what's the message? What do you want to teach me? What am I meant to learn from this? You can actually trace it back to, like I mentioned, for me, it was not feeling worthy. And so in order to conquer an addiction, you have to bring in the energy of what it is that you were trying to get from the addiction. So for me, conquering one of my addictions was about working on my self-esteem and working on feelings of worthiness and affirmations and mantras. And then sometimes if you're dealing with chemical substances and stuff like that, you do need to slowly wean yourself off and maybe get, professional help and, replace it with something healthy like tea or whatever. But eventually you shouldn't be replacing it with anything. You should be replacing it with something that's, feeling good inside yourself, like a mentality, a mindset. Even healthy things can be addicting. Like, you could be addicted to drinking too much water, or to exercise, or to too much sun, or I don't know. You don't want to get in your head about like, oh my gosh, I have all these addictions now, what do I do? There's something wrong with me. It's the whole thing about overcoming addictions is realizing everything's right with you, and your addiction doesn't define you. I've told people who have severe addictions before, you can still manifest things, you can still live your dreams while having an addiction and while working through it. You don't have to. That's what a lot of people do. They think, once I quit this addiction, then I can do this. Like, once I quit drinking, then I can do this. Once I quit overeating and I lose the weight, then I can do this. Once I get over my addiction to exercise, then I can relax. But you have to start letting yourself live your life. Addiction isn't something that you get over overnight. It's a process, and realize that you will relapse sometimes. Like, you will freaking relapse. Like, it's something you have to plan for. There's a lot of shame and a lot of guilt that's involved with addiction. And I feel like just loving yourself and being like, yep, here I am, I'm addicted, and that's what humans do. That doesn't give you an excuse, to just keep on being an addict. But just realizing, like, this is life. It's okay. It happened. Fail, but whatever. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win through this. I'm gonna learn from this. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna thrive through it. I'm gonna fail forward. So that's my 2 cents on addiction. If you guys want to hear me talk more about addiction and some of my pick a card readings in the future, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 2, let's go ahead and get your message. And your card is, are you resisting change? So this happens, you guys. Are you resisting change? Oh my gosh, this question calling us out today. So resisting change. How do we know that we're resisting change? We start coming up against a lot of, resistance. A lot of doors stop closing. A lot of doors start closing. A lot of stuff starts to go down. Everything starts to fall apart around us, and we are like grasping for the last straw, grasping for anything we can to hold on to, trying to keep things from falling apart. So I see this a lot with people who are going through breakups, okay? So people will send me a message and they'll be like asking me a question, which, by the way, you can ask me any question. I always say nothing's off limits. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've been through it all. I don't judge. I've had people ask me questions about, like, okay, this guy I was dating, or this girl I was dating, this person I was dating, they cheated on me, and then they hooked up with my best friend, and then they did something horrible, and they vandalized my car, but I want them back. And how do I get them back? So that would be a situation where you're resisting change. If someone has hurt you so awful and the door is closing and this person has been taken out of your life, thank goodness, but sometimes it's still hard for us to accept change because change can be hard. It's literally everything is changing, and our brains are hardwired to stay with what is comfortable and with what we know. So anytime we make a change, even if it's little, like something to our morning routine, like going to the gym in the morning, exercise, like, we are going to resist that. Our body's going to want to sleep in. We're going to have to drag our butts there. So it's so easy to want to resist something that's new, whether it's the smallest thing or the biggest thing. So it's just kind of funny. Our mind will literally do anything to keep us from going through change. So how do we allow ourselves to change when we realize that we're resisting it? Well, being able to label an experience as a change is really helpful. Like realizing, oh my gosh, something's changing. Like, oh wow, I just found out that I got fired from my job. This is a big change. Or wow, I just found out that this person no longer wants to be with me. Oh wow, it's a big change. Or oh, I just found out that, or I just decided that I'm gonna do this new thing. That's gonna be a change. Realizing I'm going through a change, or this is changing, and reminding yourself that our mind is kind of programmed against that. Reminding ourselves that feeling fear when we sense something is changing is normal is enough to help you through the change. Just recognizing when you're feeling a certain way and checking in with yourself is enough to help kind of push yourself gently through the change. Being aware and being conscious, because what happens is fear will come up. And remember that fear is false evidence appearing real. So our mind, once again, will trick us and try to convince us from making the change. Will try to get us to bargain with the change if it's something that's out of our control. And that's what we want. We want ultimate control. That's like as humans, our brains are obsessed with that. And so telling yourself that you can make the choices that you want to make, you can find a way to make the change work out for you, that you can trust yourself in the moment to make whatever decisions need to be made, that you can trust your future self to make whatever decisions need to be made as you flow through the change. And just saying out loud or saying to yourself, I accept this change, I flow with it, I will make it work out for me, I trust in the natural rhythms and changes and seasons of my life. The trees don't cling to their leaves, they let them fall. So be like a tree. Allow the changes. Realize there is a certain amount of control you can have over changes. Things will happen that are out of your control, but how you react and how you push the energy forward is always in your control. And so, unexpected things happen in life. When you realize something's changing or you want to make a change, be prepared for the fear and be prepared to conquer it with the mindset of, it's okay for me to feel however I need to feel. It's okay for me to be afraid. It's normal. It's natural to resist this change, and I'm just going to keep going. So I hope that this reading resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 3, let's go ahead and get your card. And your card is, are you taking care of yourself? Are any of you guys feeling personally called out by this card? Because I am. I bet I would have chose number 3 if I did this reading. You know, a lot of us are really go-getters. A lot of us, like, we work hard, especially as empaths. We want to help everybody. We want to be there for people. Naturally, we're kind of psychic, and we know things, and we're gentle, and we're nurturing, and we're fun, interesting people to be around, right? I know all y'all who are watching are empaths. And so there's a lot of people who are going to come to us. There's people who are going to cry on our shoulder. There's a lot of expectations sometimes that are placed on us, and we're just like these healing people. And so sometimes we can have lack of boundaries, and we can be a little codependent, and we can get drained by people, or even drain ourselves. And so what ends up happening is we don't take care of ourselves. So we are holistic beings. We are, of course, body. We are energetic beings or spiritual beings. We also exist in our mind in the mental realm. And so we have to take care of all facets of ourselves. So it starts with the basics, like making sure you're just drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, and eating healthy foods. You know, that right there can take a lifetime to really get down. I don't know if anybody else struggles with that, but those 3 things, it's so basic, but it's just, it can be hard, you know? And then we got to make sure emotionally that we're taking a break from overthinking and worrying about things, and that we like do things that are fun, and we do things for our inner child. And mentally, our mind needs things to entertain it and to grasp upon. So educating yourself, trying new things. These are just the simplest things right here, you guys. But the simplest things can be the hardest. Look to nature. The bird came and landed right by me a minute ago. And what I realized is that birds are really good at self-care. They preen themselves, they take little baths, they eat when they need to eat, they sleep a lot, they also play, and they're also social. And so if you just watch the animals, you can realize, like, these are what, like, every being, or like anything that has consciousness, pretty much, I think, on this planet needs those same basic things. So spend some time watching your dog or your cat or the birds or the animals, or watch some nature documentaries, and realize that, like, you're worthy. If a freaking bird is worthy of taking care of themselves, then so are you. Okay? And it's something that we desperately need to do, is just take good care of ourselves. Maybe for you, you need to write down, like in a notebook or your journal, some ideas. Maybe you, instead of asking yourself like, oh, how am I doing a bad job? Ask yourself, what am I already doing a good job at? And what can I do better? And every day, when you get out of bed, ask yourself, what do I need? What needs to be met? And it can be something different. For me, I was like, I need to swim today, I need to chill today, and I want to do something like fun today. I want to speak today, I want to create today. And so I came to the beach and I made some necklaces, and I'm doing this reading for you guys. And you know, I'm probably gonna go sleep later. I really need to sleep. I want to get really, really good sleep tonight. I just know, like, every day, check in with yourself. What you need is going to be different day to day. There's going to be basic things you'll need every single day. Work on that first and get it down, and realize you're not going to be perfect every day, and that's okay. It's not about perfection. It's just, how can I meet my needs every day? And yeah, how are you taking care of yourself? Maybe the week after, you can work on your soul or your spirit, or your inner child. You know, make little ideas, write down little notes on how you can help this side of yourself. I think a lot of us in this, like, consumer-driven society, you know, working for the man kind of society, a lot of us are really obsessed and kind of preoccupied with being productive. I remember when I lived in Los Angeles, when someone asked you, like, what have you been up to? Like, if you say something real, like, I've just been watching Netflix and chilling, and, like, I've been, you know, I went to the beach, and I kind of just been hanging out with my friend, or, you know, whatever, like, I'm chill, everything's good. Everyone will just be like, what? It's like cool to be like, oh, I had this shoot and then I had this meeting, like, oh my gosh, I'm just so stressed, I'm so busy, I have this deadline, I'm like making all this stuff and all this art, and it's just I remember like I got into that vibe. Like I thought it was cool to like be super productive and like making all this stuff happen, and it's great. Like hustle, get your shit done, like have fun, share with people, but you don't have to prove anything to anybody. All you end up doing is just exhausting yourself. Sometimes that's what we're doing. We're trying to prove it to the world or to whoever that we're like being productive enough, that we matter, that we have a role in society, that we have a purpose. And sometimes in our search of that, it's like we're trying to force ourselves to be enough. Like, look at me, I'm enough. And you just got to realize you're enough on your own. You don't have to prove it. Live your life. If you need to take a week off, a month off, if you just need to chill for like a while, if you just need to take a year off from like trying to be something so that you can heal yourself and relax, chill out, then do it. Not every single year has to be the year that you crush it. Not every single day has to be the day that you crush it. So I don't know who out there needs to hear that, but this is the message that is coming through. Are you taking care of yourself? And I challenge you to take care of yourself in whatever way that is for you, more and more every day, especially starting with today. Right now, after this video, take action. How can you take care of yourself? If you pledge to take care of yourself, if you feel like it, remember, because you don't need to prove it to anybody, but if you feel called to do it, write down in the comment below what your plan is. And I will hold you accountable, and I will like put a heart on it so you see that like I'm holding you accountable. You can do it, okay? You deserve it. You're worthy. And we can't pour from a cup that's empty. We can't pour from a cup that's empty, so you got to take time to fill your cup. That's what I'm doing here right now at the beach. So I hope that this message resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. The sun is setting. I should probably go home and eat some food. Take care of myself. Take care of my needs. I'll see you later. Peace out.